सबसे पहले गुरु जी को प्रणाम, सारी संगत को प्रणाम, and thank you, Auntie. And also at the same time, I apologize for delaying this satsang. Um, uh, this was a seva, I must realize, and मैं कोशिश कर रहा था कि टाइम निकाल के सत्संग शेयर करूं. आपकी काफी पहले आपने सेवा दी, but for some of the other reasons, I think it's all about Guruji's timing. So. ओके, सबसे पहले आई वुड से कि अगर कोई भूल चुका हो सत्संग में तो आई अपोलोजाइज इन एडवांस. आई जस्ट शेयर वॉट एवर गुरुजी will guide me to share, but I'll start with my connection first, which happened because it's been almost 9 years now. I remember in 2013 when we came to Bangalore, though we were from Delhi, but हमें गुरुजी के बारे में इतना पता नहीं था, बिल्कुल भी नहीं पता था. एंड सबसे पहले मैं उनका भी शुक्राना करना चाहूंगा जिन्होंने हमारे फैमिली मेंबर्स थे, जिन्होंने गाइड किया व्हेन वी वर इन बैंगलोर दैट गुरुजी के सत्संग होते हैं, आप कनेक्ट करिए. एंड वी गॉट कनेक्टेड एट मिसेस अंकल्स हाउस, एंड दैट वाज फर्स्ट टाइम वी अटेंडेड सत्संग. एंड आई मस्ट एडमिट दैट आई वाज वेरी नाइव. मैं बिल्कुल भी इनिशियली क्योंकि गुरुजी के बारे में तब इतना बिल्कुल पता नहीं था. एंड सो इवन दो वी वेंट टू सत्संग, मेरा जो आई वुड नॉट से कनेक्शन इज द राइट वर्ड, बिकॉज मुझे नहीं पता कब गुरुजी कनेक्ट करते हैं, कब एक्सेप्ट करते हैं एज अ संगत हमें, बिकॉज वी कीप ऑन आस्किंग टू मेनी क्वेश्चंस एंड व्हेन वी गो टू गुरुजी वी एनालाइज एंड वी ट्राई टू जज. हम गुरु को भी जज करने की कोशिश करते हैं और अपनी जो फुलफिलमेंट है वो मांगते हैं. But for the first time when we went there, it was just out of compulsion. And over the period of time, I realized that in few months that how Guruji was blessing, despite I was not so connected or was not following actually Guruji during that time. He was still looking after my whole family, and that I realized when I got a strong fragrance of Guruji, जो उस वक्त मुझे पता नहीं थी. अब इट्स वेरी कॉमन बिकॉज वी ऑल नो दैट, जो संगत नहीं भी है, बट उस वक्त इतनी अवेयरनेस नहीं थी, ना यूट्यूब पे सत्संग थे, ना मैंने इनको इतना गूगल करके देखा, ना बुक्स पढ़ी. was a bit occupied in work also. तो जब वो फ्रेग्रेंस आई, it was at a time when my mom dad were traveling up north. यहाँ साउथ में बैंगलोर में था, and they were on a holiday, and they were in a situation where they realized that it was too dangerous for them. थोड़ा मैं short कर रहा हूँ because then I will be able to share few of my other experiences with Guruji. So उस वक्त भी realize नहीं हुआ कि गुरुजी कैसे bless करते हैं, because वो fragrance इतनी strong थी. For me it was more like a botheration. ये कहाँ से आ रही है? Maybe something is कोई शीशी टूट गई परफ्यूम की, या कहाँ से ये आ रही है. और मैं अपनी वाइफ को पूछ रहा हूँ पहले को, तो वो कह रही है कि मुझे नहीं आ रही. एंड वाज अनबिलीवेबल बिकॉज यू डोंट रियली अंडरस्टैंड कि उस वक्त आप क्या है ये. बिकॉज आई वाज एक्चुअली इन अ सिनेमा हॉल. यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड सिनेरियो वेयर आई थॉट प्रॉब्ली कहीं आगे सीट के आसपास कुछ होगा, सब बस अभी. और वो 2-3 घंटे रही. एट द सेम टाइम आई गॉट अ कॉल फ्रॉम माय मॉम that how are you, where are you, and I told them, and they said okay, we'll talk tomorrow. So that was it. So next day मुझे पता चला when I again spoke to them, और उन्होंने मुझे फिर बताया कि in detail, बाद में बात हुई थी लेकिन in detail उन्होंने मुझे तब बताया कि yesterday we were, जब वो exact time पे fragrance आई थी, they were in a bit of a situation where they were traveling in a bus, and it was too dangerously, driven by a driver, which was not good. And tabhi, we try to analyze and think कि क्यों ऐसा हुआ, क्या हुआ. And again, वो हमें लगता है कि चलो ऐसा कुछ भी हुआ, and we went on with our lives. और इसके बीच में मैं I would say कि when I came to Bangalore, I must mention this because ये मैंने शायद पहले नहीं mention करा. I got these nodes formation around my neck area, और उस वक्त we were here जब हम बिल्कुल नहीं थे, and I was in hospital. I was working on a new project and assignment. मेरी आंटी back and forth Delhi Bangalore कर रही थी. or it was a struggle period for me, and I was trying to settle down myself in the new position and in the new city, in the new atmosphere. और उस वक्त हमें रियलाइज नहीं हुआ कि गुरुजी वाज ब्लेसिंग मी. उस वक्त मैं बायोप्सी करा रहा हूँ अपनी नोट्स की जो फॉर्मेशन हुई हुई थी, and this was all happening at the same time, and we didn't realize that उस वक्त वो ठीक हो गई. I mean, over the period of time, in a couple of months, it was all gone. But I don't know what it was. You know, it could have been anything. कुछ भी गलत हो सकता था. You know, and but now when I look back, I realize that there was some protection of Guruji. Otherwise, there was no other reason for, you know, हम दिल्ली में रह के कभी नहीं कनेक्ट हुए, बैंगलोर में आके कनेक्ट हुए, and at the same time we were having a lot of action, and at the same time these things were happening in my professional life, in my health issues and everything. So, having said that, फिर लाइफ हमने अपनी आगे बढ़ रही थी, you know, because we constantly move on. हमारे सब अपने अपने सबके challenges होते हैं, and फिर सब चीजें stabilize हो गई. और again I would say कि in these all, sometimes we have to really do a शुक्राना in a real sense. हम उसको accept कर लेते हैं as a gift health को, लेकिन it's such a big thing if we are healthy and we are fine. This is, I think, the biggest blessing which anyone can have. And जब तक आप वो health पे नहीं आता, we don't realize this gift which Guruji has given to all of us. So, and I think no better period than this pandemic times. The last 2 सालों में, you know, हमने realize किया इस चीज को. So, this was the journey which started with these hiccups, and with me being, I would say, the Guruji को उस वक्त नहीं समझ पा रहा था, you know, because I was already following one of my gurus, and because my wife Tanu was उनका inclination था Guruji की तरफ, तो मैं भी, you know, उनके साथ आता था. And I must admit this because this is a satsang where I should be completely honest. And I was like कि चलो ठीक है आंटी, जहाँ पे भी my wife feels, you know, she has a connect and I should follow. And though even I was getting these gifts from Guruji, you know, I was taking it for granted. You know, I was not realizing that these are all his doing, because this was too much of action in my life. And then it so happened that while I was trying to, you know, cultivate my trust on Guruji, I used to really like Shabad, mantra जाप. फिर भी वो एक आपका connection बनने में time लगता है, you know, and this cannot be expressed in words. Now today I can say, because when I used to hear those satsangs, I was like, I used to analyze, you know, and I must say this कि अब मैं समझ सकता हूँ जब वो सत्संग लोग सुनाते थे with so much of love and affection. चाहे वो छोटा सत्संग भी क्यों ना हो, छोटा in the sense, you know, sometimes we feel it was very small in terms of how we look at it, but जो सुना रहा होता है उसके लिए एक बहुत बड़ी feeling होती है, which we get to know later when we experience it ourselves. So it's it's implied that when you listen to satsang, it is also a blessing. That's why Guruji used to say sharing satsang is also a seva and a blessing, and listening in the same manner. So never analyze a satsang, which I used to do earlier. नहीं ये ठीक था सत्संग में, वो अच्छा था, वो अच्छा नहीं था, why was he driving fast, why was he driving slow, and all that, you know, हम अपने question answers करते रहते थे. And this was really wrong on my part, which I realize it now, so I must admit that, you know. उसके बाद गुरुजी की मेहर ऐसी थी कि, you know, I had this one issue, so I must say, so that we can understand certain difficulties, because अब इतने सत्संग में during this pandemic times में हम सुनते हैं that, you know, we try to correlate with our lives and our situations, which is not ideal, because over the period of time in these 9-10 years, I realized that blessings are coming to us individually. It is not same for everyone. So we must understand that it is according to our karmas, according to our timings, and Guruji को पता है किसके लिए कौन सी blessing किस time पे, you know, how that one person needs to be blessed. So in 2000, I think around 15, I went for a very small break in Kurg. That was probably the only holiday which I took for 2-3 days in the entire year. और उसी टाइम पे मेरे को एक कुर्ग में एक स्टोन का प्रॉब्लम हुआ जहाँ पर डिटेक्ट हुआ, which was acute pain. It was detected a day later when I came back to Bangalore because उसको वहाँ उस रिजॉर्ट में कोई अवेलेबल नहीं था. So it was so acute pain कि डॉक्टर ने कहा वहाँ जो अवेलेबल था, we called from the hotel premises and he said it may be appendix or stone. I realized probably it's stone because मेरी फैमिली में मेरे मदर और ब्रदर को ये है प्रॉब्लम. And it so happened when I came back, and I got it checked. It was a 7 mm stone, and उसके बाद I consulted a doctor, and they said, okay, you take certain medicines. मैंने अपना होम्योपैथी का भी medicine start किया. But during that time, one of the satsangs I silently prayed to Guruji, which I never did earlier because everything was being taken care of, and I used to not so much ask Guruji, but I just used to go and diligently listen to Shabad and follow mantra jap. So that was my kind of a protocol with my wife. तो उस टाइम पे मैंने साइलेंट प्रेयर गुरुजी को करी कि गुरुजी if you're really there, and at that time मेरी थोड़ी ट्रैवलिंग बाहर की होती थी because of my assignment and work related. तो गुरुजी अगर ये स्टोन का यहाँ छुट्टी पे हॉलीडे पे हुआ, I could bear it and there was somebody available. If it happens anywhere else, I'll not be able to tackle. So please help me because my brother and my mother दोनों ने बताया कि ये किसी भी टाइम हो सकती है, and it is so difficult to handle that you will not be able to control, and it is not in my hand कि कब होगी, and there is no painkillers really don't affect so easily. So that silent prayer तो मैंने गुरुजी को ये बोला कि गुरुजी बस इसे किसी तरीके से आप गायब कर दो. And Sangat ji, it so happened that in few months I got my complete health checkup done, which was a routine checkup I used to go. और जब वो मैंने कराया तो it was completely gone. It was vanished because I asked doctor to check, and he was like looking around and doing ultrasound, and he says, there's nothing, I cannot see anywhere that you are saying, there's no stone in your body. And I was like, that day it was a shock for me कि ये मैंने किसी को भी नहीं बताया इतनी prayer, not even my wife, कि this is what I was thinking. But having said that, I would like to say that I shared this satsang once in one of the places, and मैं जब लंगर पे बैठा तो मेरे साथ एक अंकल आए. I think probably वो न्यू थे, तो भी मैं मेंशन करना चाह रहा हूँ. And the first thing he said कि अंकल मुझे भी बहुत पथरी होती है. And I was like, तब तक मैं काफी समझ चुका था कि this is not applicable for people who have पथरी. This was just my journey. And Guruji ने किसी वे में प्रूव करना था. He wanted to bless me, or it was my demand, or whatever we may say, because we were, like I said, I was too naive, and ये मेरी बेवकूफी थी. And I apologize to Guruji for trying to test him. और उन्होंने प्रूव किया. मैं अभी तक प्रूव करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ that I'm on the right path, though we still don't fulfill our complete duties. And this late delayed satsang is one of the proofs that मैं अभी भी lack कर रहा हूँ. गुरुजी नहीं lack करते कभी भी. और so this was something which I told uncle also कि uncle, this is something, it's not that ये कोई वैसी शॉप नहीं है कि मैंने ये मांगा तो मुझे मिल गया और आपने मांगा तो आपकी भी पत्नी सॉल्व हो जाएगी. This is something we have to understand, that this is a blessing which will come in any form to all of us in our individual ways. And so it's because I can relate one example, because in one of the satsang अभी जो थोड़ा टाइम पहले था, my mom dad got infected with COVID. They are in Delhi, तो वो अकेले रहते हैं, manage करते हैं. So there was a lot of help from the society, and a lot of friends are there, and like a family we have a complete group. सब कुछ हो गया, and they were all now they're fine and back to normal. But उस टाइम पे कोविड ने बहुत बड़ा जोल दिया था. Really concerned. It happened during the peak time. और I was sharing the satsang in one of the places there. I was thanking Guruji and Shukrana, doing to Shukrana Guruji. The very next satsang was one of the aunties just stood up, and then she shared that her father passed away, not because of COVID, for some other reason. But then that was again an answer that it is it is, और उन्होंने बताया भी कि कैसे वो गुरुजी ने उनको दिखाया that he is in this sharan. So this is something, if we are getting these blessings from Guruji about our extended lives, health, or other financial aspects, so it's all his blessings. We should not just consider them as gifts. This is truly a blessing which we are getting from him. And in return, the only thing we can do is this seva and simran. And hats off to these platforms, the Zoom and jo auntie kar rahi hain, like so many, I randomly see sometimes of it actively nahi dekh pata, but I really see that it's being done in a big way. So this seva is extremely, extremely important because it's like Guruji used to say this, and एक मैंने book में भी उनकी पढ़ा था, I think वो बजाज अंकल की है, जिसमें मैंने कहा था this seva is param dharam, and hence it should be our first and foremost duty. So if we do chanting and just ask for our things, it will be provided, but the selfless seva is, I think, is a blessing which contributes to our chanting and everything. So it should be done hand in hand. So this is the health related, satsang which I just I wanted to mention this from the first part. But to second, I can share it. Guruji, it's not only health. He is like, okay. Let me share the satsang with you. We all follow different gods. So it so happened that I was going to one of the satsangs, and we had a trip planned to Delhi. Or my friend asked me, since you're coming to Delhi, you will travel to Vaishno Devi. Would you like to come? I'll be going. And I was driving towards satsang with family. Or I said, I'm driving right now. My GPS is on. Can I call you back? He said, just you have to say yes or no. Just tell me so that I can plan my stuff, or I will ask somebody else. मुझे नहीं पता क्या हुआ, मैंने कहा ना करने से अच्छा है कि मैं हाँ कर देता हूँ. मैंने हाँ कर दी उसको. ठीक है, we will go, and right now let me continue with my journey and I'll talk to you later. So जब हम सत्संग में पहुंचे, it was a satsang where one of the aunties, हम कई बार सुनते हैं कोई गुरुजी कहते हैं मुझे किसी में साईं बाबा दिखे, किसी को शिव जी दिखते हैं. That very satsang, one of the aunties after satsang, she said मुझे आज माता रानी दिखी, and I was like shocked. We कैसे हो गया, because this nobody knows apart from me, because I was on my way and talking about this. अब मैंने सुन रखा था गुरुजी ने कई बार काफी लोगों को कह रखा था कि मैं कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, और गुरुजी वहीं दर्शन दे देते हैं. बट लाइक आई सेड अगेन, हमारी अपनी बेवकूफियां होती हैं, या अपनी थॉट प्रोसेस होता है, या अपनी फुलफिलमेंट होती है. आई वाज अगेन इतना मैंने उसको आई वाज स्टिल टुक इट एज अ ब्लेसिंग कि चलो गुरुजी ने इसको यस कर दिया, मेरे ट्रिप को ब्लेस कर दिया. सो वी वेंट टू दिल्ली एंड हमने अपना ट्रिप प्लान किया. और व्हाइल आई वाज प्लानिंग माय ट्रिप वी स्टार्टेड आवर जर्नी. हम अपना ड्राइव करके जा रहे थे. सो उस वक्त देयर वाज सर्टेन कर्फ्यू एरियाज, कुछ राइड्स हो गए थे एक पॉइंट पे जहां पर जीपीएस बंद था, एंड लॉट ऑफ स्टॉपेजेस वर देयर when we had to cross the Punjab area, and they were diverting the traffic, and we were stuck. So we could not follow the route. We could not go on the pre-decisive route, or these interruptions were causing a problem for us. So we were like stuck, and though we were calm, but हमें था कि अब क्या करें, वापस जाएं या कोई ऐसे क्या डिटूर करें. But suddenly एक गाड़ी आती है जिसमें I think 7-8 Sikh Sardar uncles थे, और while we were taking a U-turn, they were coming from the other side, and the road was so narrow that we just asked them, we have to go towards Vaishno Devi, so what is the best way to go, because right now GPS and all is not functioning. And Sangatji, they told us that you follow us, and we started following them, and they were taking, they took all those interior routes. We had no clue. Very, very small lane, villages. We were scared sometimes कि कहाँ जा रहे हैं, because we had no clue what will happen. And that car had no number plate. It was sort of written something in Punjabi, which I have somewhere, but I've got it translated. but I don't remember it now as of now. So they guided us to an extent that the one by one of those persons were getting dropped, and the last person who got dropped वो जीप आगे चली गई उनकी जो थी, और द लास्ट पर्सन गॉट ड्रॉप्ड ही सेड आपको यहाँ से मैं अपनी बाइक पे गाइड करता हूँ एंड यू प्लीज फॉलो मी, टू दैट एक्सटेंट व्हिच आई हैव नेवर सीन हैपनिंग हियर. सो ही गाइडेड अस टू अ पॉइंट वेयर ही जस्ट डायरेक्टेड अस कि अब आप यहाँ रोड से सीधा ऐसे से जाओ एंड यू विल रीच योर डेस्टिनेशन. एंड लिटरली वी टुक दैट रोड एंड उसके बाद we could connect with our GPS back and this was thing. But ये सत्संग यहाँ तक नहीं खत्म हुआ. We went there. They were, मैंने, that चढ़ाई was difficult. So I started my journey at Earth Kuwari. My friend said उसका टारगेट था कि मेरे को सिर्फ वैष्णो देवी के दर्शन करने हैं, and I was like नहीं, मुझे सबके करने हैं. मैं Earth Kuwari भी रुकूंगा, मुझे भैरव बाबा भी जाना है, because now I'm down south, मेरे लिए इजी नहीं होता बार बार आना. So I try and complete. But I realized that वहाँ कुछ टोकन सिस्टम है and it's difficult, there's long waiting. So जहाँ से लोग एग्जिट करते हैं मैं वहाँ से मैंने कहा चलो मैं मत्था टेक के चला जाता हूँ. And I met a constable and I'm just cutting it short because I don't want to make it too long. So I just requested that is there any way, because मेरे को दर्शन करने हैं and I don't know what to do because ये बाहर वेटिंग है, लोग कब से वेट कर रहे हैं और नंबर टोकन सिस्टम है. बट आई हैव टू गो, मेरे को तो ऊपर अभी जाना ही जाना बिकॉज मेरा फ्रेंड वेट नहीं कर सकता है. वी बोथ आर टुगेदर, सो वी हैव टू डू इट नाउ. सो एंड समहाउ आई डोंट नो उसको क्या हुआ, ही सेड आप 5 मिनट वेट करो एंड ही प्रोवाइडेड मी द एंट्री फ्रॉम द वीआईपी सेक्शन एरिया. एक गेट खोल के कि आप जाओ यहाँ से. आई डोंट नो व्हाट हैपेंड टू हिम. ऑफ कोर्स आई just paid him as a token, something he, you helped me out. It was not agreed before. So this was again his blessing. And then darshan, again I'll cut it a little bit short so that it is not too long. And then humne darshan kare. By the time we had the complete darshan Vaishno Devi ke, Mata Rani ke, with Guruji's place. This was, then the next day we were supposed to head back, but I wanted to do भैरव मंदिर का चढ़ाई, और उस वक्त वहां पे भी कुछ इश्यूज था बिकॉज उन्होंने ऊपर थोड़ा चढ़ाई पे घोड़े अलाउ नहीं कर रहे थे बिकॉज ऑफ सम इशू ओवर देयर. एंड समहाउ आई हैड नो एनर्जी. आई ट्राइड, आई फेल्ड एंड आई जस्ट रिक्वेस्टेड वन गाय कि आप जाओगे. उसने कहा नहीं, अब तो स्ट्राइक है, हम नहीं जा सकते. देन अनदर गाय ही सडनली एग्री, ही टुक मी. जब मैं ऊपर गया और भैरव बाबा के भी दर्शन कर लिए, सब बड़ी आस नहीं कि आपको तो हमने घोड़े पे आते हुए देखा, आप कैसे आ गए. मैंने कहा मैंने बात करी और मैंने ये पैसे मेरे एग्रीड हुए और शायद मैंने ज्यादा दे दिए, लेकिन दिस वाज द थिंग, दिस इज द राइट चार्ज, बट नोबडी वाज कमिंग. हाउ कैन यू एग्री? Because I want to go back also. He says we also want to go back, but nobody was agreeing. And another person came. He said I was command this and that, and how come you got it? I said I have no clue. I just asked him and he said yes. So that was another, और लेकिन अब आप उस वक्त you have that kind of an adrenaline rush कि आपको नहीं समझ में आता, आप you don't do this kind of calculations and ये blessing है, you just want to do it and then head back. And then I knew my friend was waiting downstairs because we decided to wait at Kuwari. So it so happened and all that. And then we all headed back, we head back downstairs and हमने कहा चलो अब हम will head back to home. But before that हमने एक decide किया कि चलो हम एक अपनी हमारी मेमोरीज थी, तो उसने कहा कि मेरे को एक होटल में रुकना है वहाँ पर, और वो एक अजात शत्रु का एक पैलेस होटल है, तो हमने कहा चलो हम वहाँ एक नाइट स्टे कर लेते हैं. We were too tired and we'll stop there. तो एक हमने नाइट स्पेंड करने का डिसाइड किया. And संगत जी, while we were checking out the next day, we rested good, and my friend said जब चेकआउट काउंटर पे थे जाने के वक्त, आने के वक्त नहीं, he said देवेश तेरे तो गुरु जी यहाँ पे भी हैं. And I said गुरु जी यहाँ पर है. तो उस होटल में एक ही जगह कैंडल गुरु जी की रखी हुई थी. And then I asked and inquired to those hotel staff कि ये गुरु जी की कैंडल यहाँ पे? तो उन्होंने कहा हाँ, हमारे जो होटल के मालिक हैं वो गुरु जी के डिसाइपल और भक्त हैं. So that was, I was, I had no words to say. So again, this is not ended. This is something truly remarkable for me. और यहाँ पे गुरुजी ने प्रूव किया कि this whole journey was taken care by him. और उसके बाद जब when I was coming to back to Bangalore, दिल्ली आ गए, सब कुछ हो गया. I wanted to come back to Delhi and पूरा पूरा ट्रिप खत्म हो गया था with my things. So I was not getting a taxi from my home to the airport in Delhi. So I was calling again and again. There was one guy who cancelled. Somebody was supposed to come. I was getting very late for my flight. So 2-3 बार कैंसिल होने के बाद फाइनली बिकॉज थोड़ा वहाँ दिल्ली में बार बार वो पूछना आपको कहाँ जाना है एंड आई वाज लाइक गेटिंग एजिटेटेड कि आप मैंने बुक करी आप अपने नॉर्मल रूट पे आओ और मुझे पिक करो बट देन फाइनली द गाय हु टर्न्ड अप एंड आई सैट इनसाइड हिज कार द मोमेंट आई सैट इनसाइड हिज कार मैं जैसे पीछे बैठा उसके आगे गुरुजी के तीनों स्वरूप लगे हुए थे एंड ही वाज द फर्स्ट गाय हु नेवर आस्क्ड मी कि आपको कहाँ जाना है कहाँ नहीं जाना दैट वाज आई थिंक थर्ड और फोर्थ टैक्सी व्हिच I booked it. So मैंने अपनी पीछे की सीट छोड़ी मैं आगे गया and then the whole again you can imagine we were talking about Guruji and it was more like a sangat for me and not a driver for me. So this is how Guruji का एक पूरा not only health but एक छोटी छोटी आपकी जर्नी की लाइफ की विशेस की आपने अब मुझे नहीं पता वो ट्रिप मुझे करना चाहिए था मेरे लिए ठीक था नहीं था बट गुरुजी वाज एट एवरी स्टेप ऑफ माय वे ही वाज देयर एंड इसके अलावा माय वाइफ तनु अब बैंगलोर वी ऑल नो थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे पोलिंग की वजह से इश्यूज रहते हैं पीपल हु हैव दिस asthma तो माय वाइफ गॉट दिस acute every year that stroke used to happen and उनको बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती थी एंड इन 2019 7th of July she had got this acute जिस दिन गुरुजी का बर्थडे था I still remember she was having this problem in a very very serious way but she was able to attend तो लेकिन उसके 2 दिन बाद उनको हॉस्पिटल भी एडमिट होना पड़ा but that was the last day I'm again cutting it short, not trying to make it very long. तो वो दिन है 2019 का until date with Guruji's grace उनको वो problem नहीं आई because and she was not on any medication and no inhalers and nothing. So this is a big shukrana to Guruji and apart from this is something he's taking care of us in a lot of ways. I mean, this whole pandemic, we were trying to protect ourselves, and we traveled in this pandemic times to Delhi with family. And it so happened, I must mention, मैंने पहले अपने कुछ एक सच में mention करा कि till the time I was engaged in work, Guruji protected me. And the moment I was used to about to get casual कि चलो अब थोड़ा सा अपने friends से मिल लेते हैं, और we'll try to spend some time socially अपना friends के साथ. That very moment I used to get a message from one of my father's friends or get indication उसको COVID हो गया, so stop it. So just a day before I was supposed to meet and catch up with my friends. So I got my message that, do your duty and in these times, whatever the precautions you have to take care, you take and don't indulge in any other activities if it is not required. And though now situation is a lot improved, but I'm talking about the peak period. So, and Satsang were a big bliss. And now I must say that this Satsang I agreed also, or Guruji karwa rahe because पहले, we used to attend a lot of Satsangs and we took it, we used to take it for granted कि चलो अब आज यहाँ है, हर Saturday होते थे. In Bangalore, I'm talking about person. And we used to look forward for those Satsangs. But and try to analyze अच्छा वो दूर है यहाँ चले जाते हैं आज यहाँ होगा but now there is a longing for satsang which I realize that how important it is these blessings and वो एक group में बैठ के जो एक vibrations we feel it's very divine so and this satsang which I'm doing it is also with that same feeling with that I have that I cannot share in that live platform because last, I think, 1.5 months we have not been able to attend any. So the satsangs which I have been able, I mean, I was getting in last year when there was complete shutdown. I heard so many satsangs where I got the clarity, which I used to पहले सुनता था कुछ blessings के लिए, and then later on I realized that these are for my own vision. हम सुनते हैं, they're like to clarify your vision towards Guruji, so you can see it more properly and then act accordingly. So I again would say Guruji भूल चूक माफ करें, and अगर कोई मैसेज सत्संग में हुई हो, and I think it's already half an hour. Auntie, is it okay if I can sum up now? So it so happened that this confusion was always there because we follow, like I said, I just told about Vaishno Devi. We follow Sai Baba as our guru, and I have my own guru, so मैं उनको भी follow करता हूँ. So I was always getting confused कि am I on the right path? अब गुरुजी भी हैं, and किसको follow करूँ? There's longing for both of them now. And फिर एक दिन गुरुजी के अपने ways हैं. This is, and I must say this, the answers will come to us. We don't have to ask anybody, and you just have to raise that question. Guruji apne aap, sooner or later you'll get an answer. This is from my experience. So, because I don't go and asking everyone, I have a feeling like this. It is within me, and that type of war, if it happens within me. So I was asking myself, kaise kare, how to go for it, and I'm trying to find an answer. So one day a satsang appeared, एक Zoom पे satsang आता है, एक Mamta auntie है Delhi की, where she is narrating her satsang of Guruji. I'll not share her complete satsang, but the whole satsang was about that she's connected with Guruji, and to an extent that she had to, कुछ surgery उनके father की थी, and she also kidney का उन्होंने उनको help करा, support करा, and she was going through her health problems because of her support to her father and all, and she was going through her recovery period, and her connection was so strong that Guruji blessed, the whole family, उनको भी at every step of the way. So she was sharing and narrating that though she was going through certain health issues, and somehow she landed up in Bangalore, and for her रिकवरी पीरियड उन्होंने किसी ने गाइड किया कि आप ऐसे एक आश्रम में जाओ और वहां पर आप आयुर्वेदिक का अपना इलाज कराओ एंड यू विल बी फाइन. एंड देन शी स्टार्टेड नरेटिंग दैट मैं कैसे वो एक यहाँ पर एक आश्रम में आ गई, और दैट आश्रम हैपेंस टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ लिविंग. And she said that though I'm not connected to Sri, and she started narrating that while there was an evening satsang, I was listening to satsang and I was looking at him, but when I'm closing my eyes, I'm opening my eyes, I'm seeing Guruji over there. And she was like, I cannot follow him because I follow Guruji. And but unko acha bhi lag raha tha, and all that was happening. Again, I will cut it short here because the idea is not to, talk more about Shri, but just about a personal touch which I want to give. Maybe it will answer in some way or the other for anybody. But next day she said that it was my birthday and nobody knew. And so she happens to be in that VIP room where Shri meet very selective people. वो कहती हैं कि मुझे नहीं पता मैं वहाँ कैसे पहुंची, and I don't know. Or but the first thing, and she was not expecting that Shri will come and beat her, but he came and he greeted her, and the first thing greeted her, and I think he wished her also something, and she then narrated outside that outside she asked someone that I don't follow him, how come he knows? I don't even know how come I reached here. This was an area which was for VIPs or some people who have to already, because I've been there, so I know that it's all a lot of formalities which needs to be conducted to be there. And she was like, her not in complete honesty, she was saying and admitting that I don't know how come I reached here because I was not supposed to be here. I just thought that the whole group is here, so I just went there, and she could easily enter and stand. And so, जो वहाँ पे उनके डिसाइपल थे, उन्होंने कहा था कि उन्होंने उनको उसका आंसर ये दिया कि सब एक है, and whether you, so जो भी गुरु हैं, जो भी भगवान हैं, we अब हम गुरुजी को बोलते हैं कि आई वाज लिसनिंग टू वन ऑफ द स्पिरिचुअल टॉक्स जहाँ पर वो कहते हैं कि अनेक अनेक ब्रह्मांड है। अभी हम बोलते हैं 9 अवतार हैं, शिव जी के अवतार हैं। भगवान कहते हैं मेरे अनंत अवतार हैं। और ये एक ब्रह्मांड हम जानते हैं जहाँ पर गुरुजी आए हैं, उससे पहले भी भगवान आए हैं। हमें पहचानने में दिक्कत होती है। दिस इज आवर लिमिटेड विजन। वी कैन नॉट रियलाइज गुरुजी, बट ही यूज्ड टू से कि मैं लाइट से आया हूँ, मैं शिव हूँ। एंड आई थिंक बाय now we have listened to Sukhi auntie, Shiv uncle, Raghuveer uncle. They've all narrated these satsangs where Guruji के, मैं चमत्कार नहीं बोलूंगा, he has proved, in so many ways, so many ways that he is beyond our understanding. And हमारी लेकिन एक लिमिटेड विजन होती है कि हम गुरुजी को समझना है। हम मानते ही तब तक है जब तक, लाइक आई सेड, जब तक मेरी पथरी ठीक नहीं हुई मैं मानने को तैयार नहीं था। एंड व्हाई आई एम अपोलोजाइजिंग टुडे इज नॉट, आई थिंक आई मैंने उस सत्संग को कंप्लीट नहीं किया था। आई गॉट अ फ्रेग्रेंस दैट वेरी डे ओनली, दैट वेरी डे व्हेन आई गॉट माय द स्टोन issue. That very day I got my the fragrance. So the point was that Guruji blessed me there and then. There was no need to ask. But this is something, we have a limited mind. We need a proof for everything, और हम उस लिमिटेड माइंड से ही गुरुजी को देखते हैं और उसी लिमिटेड माइंड से गुरुजी को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं। इट्स so difficult for to anybody to explain. You cannot put that in your words. जैसे आंटी जिस लव एंड अफेक्शन से या जो सेवादार जिस इंटेंसिटी से इसको करते हैं, you cannot define. For us it's like हमारे लिए कोई रूटीन काम लगता है कि अच्छा आज सत्संग जाना है, आज चले जाएंगे, but there's a lot of longing, there's a lot of love and affection. और गुरुजी ने, that's how you get blessed also, which we don't realize. For us, we want our health to be sorted, our finances to be sorted, but Guruji knows beyond that. He is Mahashiv, who can control that, who can control your birth, and that we have seen. He has proved it many times. We have so many satsangs where he has given extension to Sangat, of life, which they have demanded, literally. Ki Guruji meko 5 saal de do, I have these duties I need to fulfill, and Guruji have done that. उन्होंने literally कहा है और वो दिए हैं ये, और कईयों को बोला भी है कि मत मांगो, but it is our limited mind. We still keep on asking Guruji. और गुरुजी का जैसे आंटी ने इंट्रोडक्शन दिया, तो it's just simple that if you are coming to Guruji, then you have to find your connect. Until the time you don't find your connect, आप नकारो नहीं. I have done that mistake. I used to analyze या put up a question. गुरुजी समझ में आएंगे, थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा. You will get your answers. If you have a guru, you will, like I said, you have a guru, you will still find in your guru, you can see Guruji. That is the kind of power Guruji has. You will get your answer. You don't have to ask anybody. He will come to you on his own, and this is proven by so many satsangs. हम साईं बाबा को मानते हैं, वो गुरुजी उसमें दिख जाते हैं. गुरुजी ने कई संगत को, जितने भी गुरु नानक जी के अवतार हैं, उन सबके दर्शन कराए. सो दिस इज, आई थिंक, इससे ज्यादा प्रूफ नहीं हो सकता. पर्सन केम टू गुरुजी, उसने गुरुजी को चैलेंज किया कि मैं ये प्रसाद नहीं खाता हूँ, मैं सचखंड का प्रसाद खाता हूँ, मुझे वहां से कुछ खिलाओ तो मैं मानूं. And he was kind of a yogi who was there to test Guruji. And Guruji ने then उसको एक नहीं 12 तरह के प्रसाद दिए सचखंड के. And for people like us, we don't even know what सचखंड is, so we cannot comprehend to that extent. हम थोड़ा सा भी समझ लें उसका 0.01% तो काफी होगा. But that is just to give a perspective कि the power of Guruji, for us, we are not here to question Guruji. हमें लगता है अभी जैसे lot of times we say I got connected or I went to Guruji. सब गलत है. He decides when you have to come to him. he will decide when is your connect going to happen. एक भाटिया अंकल का सत्संग है, उन्होंने उसमें खुद कहा है कि गुरुजी ने उनको वो बोला था कि ये मुझसे अभी कनेक्ट नहीं होगा, मुझसे 5 साल बाद ये रियलाइज करेगा कि गुरु की वैल्यू क्या है. एंड इट हैपेंड. एंड नाउ इन आवर जर्नी, इन माय जर्नी, एंड आई रियली रिपेंट कि चलो हम पहले क्यों नहीं गुरुजी से मिले. एंड आई कुड हैव गॉट माय आंसर्स. गुरुजी मुझे डांट भी देते तो मैं आई वुड हैव बीन टेकन, आई वुड हैव टेकन इट एज अ ब्लेसिंग. दैट इज आवर मिसफॉर्च्यून कि उनको हम अब समझने की कोशिश में लगे हुए. एंड जर्नी स्टिल कंटिन्यूइंग, बट दीज आर स्मॉल इंस्टेंसेस just to understand the power of Guruji. He's everywhere, every moment, and unki blessings are in various forms. You pray to him in any form and he will come to us. And introduction ke liye to Guruji is from, agar if thoda sa technical specifics ke liye karna hai to he's from Duguri, which most of the Sangat who are connected, you all know. And he was from childhood, I think सबको पता है जिन्होंने इनकी थोड़ी सी जर्नी समझी है कि he was a divine person. We have all listened to शिव अंकल सत्संग, जो उनके चाइल्डहुड फ्रेंड थे. वो रात रात भर भक्ति करते थे. And he knew what he has to do for a lot of Sangat, even for his friend. And but the biggest point which even Shiv uncle said कि हमें पता नहीं चला कि वो भगवान थे. And that is the irony of our life कि जब वो होते हैं we don't realize that we are sitting next to God. और जब वो चले जाते हैं then there is like आज लाखों करोड़ों लोग उनके followers बन गए हैं. Even Sangat who I have listened to those satsang, Guruji are चोले में नहीं, and they wonder कि how we will connect. But Guruji is blessing everybody every moment in many ways. And this is just a small part of it. And he came to Delhi because जहाँ पर उन्हें बोला था कि यहाँ पर कोई महापुरुष नहीं आता. उनका एक बड़ा मंदिर है which we all know as बड़ा मंदिर ahead of Chhatarpur area. And that's like a Makkah for all of us. And he has said that उन्होंने अपने लिए बनाया था वो मंदिर, संगत के लिए बनाया था, जहाँ पर उन्होंने 12 ज्योतिर्लिंगों की पावर वहां पर इकट्ठी करी हुई है for Sangat to come and take blessings. And for us it's like when we go there you realize, and I can just tell you one very small maybe to give a point of view for that my father, he is now 76, 77, so he never used to follow any guru, but he was a Shiv Bhakt all throughout his life. So when I found out about Guruji in 2013, I wanted to test कि मेरे पापा तो शिव के भक्त हैं, and now what is better way to test this whole thing, because आपका mind, again like I said, I was stupid, I was naive, and I was like कि चलो बाबा मुझे तो गुरु मिले हुए, आपको कोई नहीं मिले because you could not connect with any other, तो आप please आप जाओ. And he was like adamant कि नहीं, मुझे किसी गुरु के पास नहीं जाना, मैं अपना जाता हूँ मंदिर and I'm fine with it. And but I wanted to test because मैंने कहा नहीं पापा, अगर आप शिव के भक्त हो तो आप everybody saying he's महाशिव, because मेरा belief नहीं मान रहा था, because we always imagine Shiv ji in that avatar which we have. हमारा अपना perceived version है भगवान का भी, because we want to look at भगवान also in our own way. We don't want to look at him otherwise. So it takes time. Now when we look at Guruji, अब उसी फोटो में जिसमें पहले doubt होता था, अब उसी में there's a lot of love and affection. So that's how our perspective changes. So my dad जब वो गए, and when he came back, I asked him कि पापा everything happened, I mean cutting it short, so not dragging a lot more. So then the only thing which he said to me was enough, but तभी like मेरे को time लगा. He said it's paradise, it's heaven. ये तूने मुझे कहाँ भेजा? And trust me संगत जी, वो कोई ज्यादा बुक नहीं पढ़ते, वो कोई सत्संग नहीं सुनते तो ज्यादा, कभी कभी सुन लेते हैं, because he realized what he wanted. He said मुझे मिल गए, you have done your job, now you get a side. He was like, and excess is also bad, so I will always say that sometimes he used to find me listening to satsang, where पापा को push करता था, आप यहाँ भी जाओ. He says no, it's enough. He was talking, he used to always talk like Guruji that even if I say his name once or twice, it's enough. Just do your duties and then it's sufficient what I do, or don't push me. And I know I achieved. तूने मुझे भेजा, मुझे वो मिल गए. एंड दैट वाज इट फॉर मी. सो जब जैसे आंटी ने कहा उनका इंट्रोडक्शन दो, तो जो शिव भक्त हैं, जो उनके साथ तो कनेक्ट बनना होगा वो इंस्टेंट बनेगा. कईयों के साथ टाइम लगेगा. सम पीपल माइट फाइंड इट डिफिकल्ट टू कोरिलेट एंड कनेक्ट. एंड इवन आई यूज्ड टू फील दैट, when I used to hear satsangs that about Sangat who's old, that probably they are trying to enforce this upon us कि आप इनको मानो, or the direction is that towards channelizing कि we should understand Guruji in a certain way. But it is not about that. That they are trying to express their feelings, and they are trying to express their love and devotion towards Guruji, which they have experienced, and I realized that quite late. और वो रियलाइजेशन अभी भी चल रही है. मेरा वो लैक अभी भी भक्ति में है, सेवा में है, बट गुरुजी की ब्लेसिंग में आई वुड स्टिल से कोई कमी नहीं है. ही इज स्टिल ब्लेसिंग अस, एंड आई एम सो थैंकफुल टू गुरुजी फॉर एवरीथिंग व्हिच ही इज डूइंग. हम गुरुजी उनको बोल रहे हैं, बट बिकॉज दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच वी जस्ट कॉल हिम, बट ही इज रियली महाशिव. एंड इट्स सो मेनी टाइम्स ही हैज हिमसेल्फ सेड, कई इतने इंस्टेंसेस में अगर संगत ने ना सुने हो, जहां पर उन्होंने बोला है खुद कि वो जो 3 सरदार, उनकी कई बार किसी ने नोट किया कि वो आए थे, याद संगत की, पता है वो कौन थे, ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश, they came to me, they met me. So अब it's not easy to understand, it's not easy to correlate. और संगत ने जिन्होंने फील किया है, एक्सपीरियंस किया है गुरु जी को, और उन्होंने नरेट किए हैं सत्संग. दिस इज नॉट समथिंग which is just coming out of hearsay, a version of someone. This is really we all have felt. I cannot share more because certain things are not completed. He has been into dreams, and those dreams are little unfinished. But you cannot dream about Guruji just like that. It is impossible. It is impossible. And to have his dream, to get his blessings, and when you get his blessings, don't forget that it was his blessings. That I must say that, because we take it for granted. जब मिल जाती है तो हमारी दूसरी डिमांड खड़ी आती है. But don't forget his blessings, because मुझे, if I look back from my childhood till now, from my deathbed, there have been instances where I have come from. मुझे नहीं पता गुरुजी मेरे साथ कब से कनेक्टेड है. From what point he was watching me, I could have gone at the age of 12, 13, 14. I don't know. I was suffering for some other issues of my life and health issues. So, but he was there, and today I'm able to share the satsang, which is in itself, I don't know how it is possible. And I was very, very introvert. That's another issue. That's one of the ways I was avoiding. But it's difficult to share on the audio kind of a platform. But I can talk about Guruji, and I don't know. I want to talk something else. You can't write so much and talk and narrate, but whatever comes, I'm trying to express my feelings. Again, I think I lost track what auntie wanted to ask me about introduction. I went somewhere else. But I cannot give his introduction. It's something you have to, one will always have his own version of Guruji. अभी शिव जी को भी समझना बड़ा मुश्किल है. In my terms, I would say कि किसी ने उनका बचपन नहीं देखा. We don't know who he is, where he came from. He is light. For me, he is everywhere. He is in every guru. He is in every particle. He is in every breath. And you have to feel him. And every day, I would say, don't merely, we sometimes just say Shukrana, and we just say, okay, if we are all Guruji Sangat, we are all protected. It is not like that. The other, all gods are equal, and he's in every god. So we just have to get out of this myth also. Sometimes we just say, okay, we only follow this Guruji and this photo, and we all feel that everything is going to be fine. It's a journey, and it's a constant effort. We have to keep on upgrading ourselves, and that longing for Guruji has to be there. It should not be just a formality that we have done a satsang, we have done a simran, we have done a mantra jap. If there is no love and devotion in that, it is incomplete. If there is no seva and simran in that, it is incomplete. So that's what my version is, which I'm learning with time, because I have done this, that my duty of everyday prayer, it has happened, and now these things will happen. So I've dropped that, and now I realize that how Sangat, who have gone through toughest time and have given their instances about Guruji, that's all making me say that if they have been able to withstand that kind of tough time and still follow Guruji, मैं अगर उस सिचुएशन में अपने आप को इमेजिन करूं, मैं टूट जाता. I कहता गुरुजी मतलब I cannot bear it. So but that is giving me a an understanding that how strong a faith can be. I'm learning from other sangat. I'm learning from a lot of other sangat, and trying to adapt and trying to still follow the path of Guruji, and trying to connect with him more and more, more and more, more and more. So I just pray for everyone's good health. गुरुजी से अगेन भूल चूक माफ, अगर कुछ भी मुझसे अगर गलत निकला हो तो संगत जी माफ करें. The idea and objective is only give a slight glimpse of my experiences and share about Guruji. And Shukrana to Guruji and Shukrana to Sangat, Shukrana to Auntie. Anything else, Auntie? Can we sum up?